friends, welcome back to another Python beginner series video. This side Rajya Lakshmi Singham, and today we are solving a really interesting problem that every beginner should know, which is how to find the largest and smallest number in a list without using Python's built-in max and min functions. We have done this exercise before if you follow this entire course step by step, but today we are going to use for and while loop. Yes, we are going to do it in the manual way, and trust me, you'll love this because it really helps you understand how Python works behind the scenes. So, the goal is simple. You enter a list of numbers, and our program will tell you which one is the biggest and which one is the smallest. And the fun part, we'll do it using both for loop and while loop. So, let's go step by step. First, let's grab some numbers from the user. So, grab and put from user. So numbers equal to, I'm going to get input, enter numbers separated with commas or by commas. Okay, and we are going to split them separated with commas. But here, if you observe the previous exercises, we didn't need the input to convert it into integer or any other data type because there we didn't perform any mathematical operation. But coming to finding the maximum and minimum numbers, it is a kind of mathematical operations, right? So for that, we have to convert it to integer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a list to store the numbers. Like numbers is nothing but it is going to store the input in the form of list. So I'm going to do list, and inside that I'm going to use a map method, and inside that I'm going to give the data type to int and then integer. So what's happening here? We are asking the user to enter the numbers. It could be like 10, 25, 7. And dot split will break the string into a list. And what this map will do, it will convert each piece into an integer. Okay. So it map is nothing but you're mapping. It means like you're going to that particular element and checking the data type. Obviously, it will be string, the default data type. So it will convert each and every element. Like for example, the input is 10, 10, 25, 7. So initially these will be in obviously in strings. Okay. So each and everything is in string. What this map will do, first it goes to 10. It will check the data type. It is string. So we have to convert it to integer because we gave integer here. So that is why it is converting it into integer. So finally, the list will create a proper list of numbers. That's it. Actually, we can do each and everything step by step, but we are doing everything in a single line where we are getting the input and separating it by comma and converting the each and every input's data type to integer using the map, and then we are using list. That's it. Now let's assume the first number in the list is both the largest and the smallest number, and we'll update them as we go. So let's create two variables. How do we access the first number in the list? Obviously by using index. So numbers of 0, and the smallest also will be numbers of 0. Okay. Okay, now the loop. So for num in numbers, if num, the number greater than the largest, then largest equal to num. If num less than smallest, then smallest will be num. That's it. It's as simple as that. So what we are doing here, we check each number one by one. If it's bigger than the largest number, then we update the largest. If it is smaller than our current smallest, then we update the smallest. And finally, we print the results. So print largest number, largest, and print smallest number, smallest. That's it. And now you know how to find the biggest and smallest numbers manually. So this is how we do. Okay, let's trace this logic. This is the most interesting part. This is where we learn everything. So let's give the input same as before 10, 20, 5, 7. Let's say this line converted this 10, 25, 7 from string of set of input to a list of integer values. Okay. So this is the entire purpose of this single line. And now we created two variables. One is largest and the other is smallest. And we are assuming that number 10, which is the first element, the numbers of 0 is nothing but the first element in the list is nothing but 10. We are imagining, assuming, saying that largest is 10 and smallest is also 10. Okay. Now, what this for loop will do, so we instantly created a variable called num. It will store the value every time. It will change the value for each and every loop. So for num in numbers, so initially num value is 10 because that's the first element. So the pointer starts from here. So this is the num. Okay. If 10 greater than largest, is 10 greater than 10? No. So false. And now it will check. Is 10 less than 10? Again, it is false. So now the program jumps to second element. Num jumps to second element. What is the second element? 20. Okay. 20. Is 20 greater than 10? Yes. So this is true. So now the program will change the largest value from 10 to 20 in this line. Okay. Obviously, uh, num less than smallest. So is 20 less than 10 is false. So again, now the program jumps to the next value. So what is this next value? Is 5. And what is the largest value now? It changed from 10 to 20. Okay. Largest value changed from 10 to 20. Now the third value is 5. Is 5 greater than 20? False. Is 5 less than what is the smallest value? 10. Is 5 less than 10? True. So now the program changes the smallest value to 5. Okay. So now the value changed to 5. Okay. And now the program goes here and now the num value changes from 5 to 7. Okay. Num 7 greater than 20, the largest value is 20. 7 greater than 20, false. Okay. Is 7 less than 5, false. So now again it jumps to the next item. So now it comes out of the loop. And now the largest value is 20 and the smallest value is 5. Okay, let's run it. Ten, 20, 5, 7. Largest number 20 and smallest number 5. So this is what happens. Okay. I hope I'm clear in this exercise. If you still have any doubts, please let me know. I'm going to do one more video in detail if you want. But this is not the end. We also have to work on this exercise by dealing with the while loop. So let's try the same thing, but this time with the while loop. So as usual, we are getting numbers and we are doing the largest and the smallest. Okay. And always when it comes to while loop, you have to initialize the pointer, which is I by 0, and depends on the condition, situation. Okay. While I less than ln of numbers. Okay. I already explained why we are dealing with ln of numbers whenever we are running the loop, especially when we are working with the list. If you want, please check the previous exercise. I insist you to go through each and every exercise to understand every minute concept. So, the same logic, I'm just going to remove the for loop and keeping the while loop. But here we are going to do numbers of I. Again, here numbers of I, and this will be the numbers of I, numbers of I, and that's it. But the only difference is I equal to 0. It starts with 0. In for loop, it usually starts with 0. But while we have to tell it to start with 0, and that's why the I value is 0. And ln of numbers is nothing but the quantity of elements present in the list, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the ln of numbers is 4. So initially I value is 0 and ln of numbers is 4 in this case. Okay. And I value is 0. Okay. If numbers of I, so numbers of 0, which is 10, same is greater than, so the initially the largest value number is 10 and the smallest is also 10. Same thing. So now the largest is 10 greater than 10, false. Is 10 less than 10, false. So now the I value jumps from 0 to 1. So we have to give an operation called I plus equal to 1, which is same as I equal to I plus 1. If we don't do, then we are going to be in that infinite loop. So we have to break that condition by incrementing. That means by increasing the value of I by 1 for every time. So now the I value becomes 1. Okay, ln of numbers is 4. Is 1 less than 4? Yes. Is numbers of 1. What is numbers of 1? 20. Is 20 greater than 10? True. So the largest will be updated to 20. And is 20 less than 10? No, false. Now the I value increments by 2. So this will be 2. Is 2 less than 4? True. Is numbers of 2. What is numbers of 2? 5. Is 5 greater than 20? No. Is 5 less than 10? Yes. So the smallest value will be updated to 5. And again, now I value becomes 3. Is 3 less than 4? True. Is numbers of 3. What is numbers of 3? 0, 1, 2, 3, 7. Is 7 greater than 20? No. Is 7 less than 5? No. So now again, I value becomes 4. Is 4 less than 4? No. Then it will come out of the loop and then it will print the largest and the smallest numbers. So 10, 5, 20, 5, 7. And that's it. So the largest number is 20 and the smallest number is 5. So instead of looping automatically like for, we are manually moving through list by using this index I. So each time we check, we update and move I by 1 so that it can move one step forward. Same result, but different way of thinking. So there you go, my friends. We actually learned two ways to find the largest and smallest number without using shortcuts. And here is the thing, programming is not about memorizing the fancy functions, it's about understanding how things actually work step by step. So we have worked with for loop and while loop. And if you found this video helpful, do me a small favor, hit that subscribe button because here we are learning Python the simple and beginner friendly way, one program at a time. And trust me, the more we practice together, the stronger your coding skills will become. Alright, I'll see you in the next program. Until then, keep practicing and keep coding.